To actually explain why we can't use generalizations as facts is it's only an opinion, you know? We go for the fact that people believe us to make facts, you know? And if enough people believe gold comes from water, to you it could be a fact if you're ignorant enough to believe your own lies or your own fabricated truths. This is acceptable within us all. We can go around parading whatever we want to say, you know? And as long as we have a bunch of people believing us, we think we're right. You know? It's the illusion that everyone agrees with us that makes us feel right. We could say, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer was a good man at heart. And if there's people who believe that, then the person who said that would feel right and feel empowered. Same thing. If you can get 1 million people to agree with you and say, ice cream can't melt in, 60-degree weather, and you'll believe them, and you'll believe yourself. That's if you're ignorant. You know, I can't explain it right. I can't explain it correctly. You know, there's logical terms for it that would shorten what I'm saying. But what I'm really saying is, you just do it because lots of people agree with you. Lots of people whose accounts close 5 minutes after they comment. Which seems suspicious, by the way. I don't know. There's a lot of losers out there who create many multiple accounts using one email address, which is easy to do. And I'm pretty sure someone I know does it a lot, very often, And the question in mind, how much of a loser do you have to be to actually commit such a fraud? To make someone believe you by talking to yourself? I see, said the blind man so clearly and vague. The deaf man nods in agreement. Fubu Hexgear, you can make all the malicious comments you want about juggalos, juggalettes, trannies, fat people, but in the end, it's only your opinion. It's only a generalization. It's only a fact you're so deprived of attention from anybody, from any normal human being in your perspective, that you actually, stoop so low as to troll. Now, troll could be good or bad depending on which way you stack it. You could have people who troll to actually study on psychology and see how the human psyche reacts to things they're not wanting to hear on YouTube. And you could see it a lot, You could see how people are true, how people are fake, how people can really react in certain situations behind closed doors. And, I see how you are. You just want attention, because you bash the same things over and over again. You know what? I'm on YouTube to put down guys like you. This is what YouTube's for. Total anarchy. Total anarchy. There's no rules, No proverbial lines. No stipulations. The only thing you're going to get, someone talking to you. Someone commenting. Someone giving 3 stars, 5 stars, or none. Someone calling you an asshole. That's about it. And you know what? You're an asshole. That's it. You're fake. You're the fakest person I've seen on YouTube thus far. You beat Fred to me. You beat Boxy Babe to me. You beat Chris Crocker. Well, Chris Crocker's real. But you, my friend, fake bastard. The fact that you can hide behind such big words and, use the rule of man makes you a fool and a coward. Guys like you who tend to try to make themselves look good by supposedly stacking themselves against shit or so you may call us. You know, in your perspective, you look bigger. But in my perspective, we both bleed. That's it. You know, you can't accept the fact that a person of your intellect can actually exist and coexist within a faction that you yourself cannot agree with, or cannot come to terms that you envy us. You envy people, so you dilute, yourself, saying, hey, I'm afraid of them, but to show I'm stronger than them in any way mentally, I'll call them faggots, I'll call them meth heads, I'll call them potheads, I'll call them drug abusers, I'll call them fat, homosexuals, I'll call them any name I can think of. Anything. Just to make myself feel better. Just to make myself feel better about my pointless little life in Texas, so I can be a geologist and paint. You know what? I'm pretty sure the smartest thing anyone will ever hear from you is hi. And as you're sitting in your little computer chair, wondering why none of your friends have ever replied to anything you've ever said to them, you'll think about it. Hey, I'm real. I am honest. People should like me for my honesty. You know what? Honesty can go two ways. You could be an asshole when you're honest, or you can be a nice guy when you're honest. You can't just say, hey, you're fat. What? I'm going to point it out? It's my honest opinion. You know what? There are things you should keep to yourself. Don't see one truth and say it. If one truth is going to offend somebody, pick another truth that's going to compliment them. Instead of saying, hey, you're fat, saying, hey, you had a great personality, bro. Or babe. But people like you can't see past one thing. And you see a fork in the road, you can't go left or right. You gotta go straight in between, make your own road. Me, I'm a guy of solitude. I'm a guy with many friends who I, make feel good on a daily basis. That's me. I'm a people person. Unlike you. You gotta point out the flaw. You gotta point out the imperfection. I embrace the flaw. I embrace the imperfection. Because if there were no flaws or imperfection, we'd end up with guys like Ben Stein who are walking around. Well, Ben Stein's cool. He's cooler than you. We'll walk around with guys like you, clean shaven, $10 haircut. Again, I overpress that. But you're the biggest broken record I've seen thus far, because apparently I'm a total failure at life. Even though I've got friends, a car, great grades in school, a vocation. What do you got? YouTube. That's all you got. Your attention. You're trolling. You're constant nitpicking at certain things you can't understand. This is me saying, David Dean, Mr. Dean, therapy would be good for you. Get a life. Get a girlfriend. Or at least to masturbate to alleviate whatever stress or pent-up frustration you have. Because you can't carry out an argument when you're stating an opinion. In this, my argument is actually better than yours, no matter how many little, internet satellites you can make of yourself to insult me, to make people think, hey, this guy's got a lot of people disagreeing with him. He's a dumbass. I've seen through a ruse. I know your satellite. You're just the biggest fake on YouTube, okay? But you will get better at being an idiot. I know. Stupidity evolves. Hypocrisy consumes you. That's it. To call yourself a great debater is like calling Chris Benoit a great father.